A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
It is the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz in for Mitch Thunder Nellis. You might have heard him earlier on the morning show with Trevor and Josh, but no Josh. Joined by the Packers' all-time leading scorer, of course, today on a Friday. Happy Friday, Mr. Mason Crosby.
Friday, back in the building. Just got back from my golf trip to a birthday party with 6 teenage girls. My oldest daughter, Charlotte, turns 13 today, so Happy birthday, Charlotte.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a big one, man. I cannot believe I have 2 teenage kids.
I was just going to say, is that like an old milestone? You have 2 teenagers now?
That's a big one, yeah. Like, in a teenage daughter hits way different than the teenage son. I mean, I'm just like, oh, my gosh. And there was some drama. Anytime she gets, friends together, has a sleepover, does that whole shebang. These girls just kind of lose their minds. I mean, we had, they went to In-N-Out. So that's what they wanted. Like Charlotte wanted to go to In-N-Out and get food and hang out. They went and did an escape game. Molly's just like, they are doing TikToks every 5 seconds and they are YouTubing and doing all these things. She's like, I don't even know if they like each other, if they talk to each other. Like they're just TikToking the whole time. So I get back. These girls stayed up till all hours of the night, like 4 a.m. this morning. Like someone came down. They're like, hey, I'm hungry and bored. And we're like, is this normal at your house? Like, go to sleep. I don't know what to tell you right now. So that was coming back from golf, but it was a good couple days after everything going on with Molly. It was nice to just kind of get off the grid for a few days, hit some golf balls and hang out. My team won. So,
nice.
I am victorious coming back home, but much like a lot of these topics we're going to talk about, I mean, we got to talk about this Brewers team. I've been like itching to talk about them since while I was gone. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have the best team in baseball.
They are unreal.
They're so stinking good.
You're just coming off a 3-game sweep over the Chicago Cubs. First time sweeping the Cubs since 2021 at Wrigley. And who do you want to start with first, Jacob Misiorowski or Kyle Harrison while you've been gone then?
Well, I mean, we have 2 of the best starting pitchers in baseball, it looks like right now, right?
Looks like it, yeah.
What is Kyle Harrison? 1.73 ERA.
Yeah.
He's like 4th or something like that, 4th or 5th.
Not quite qualified yet, but he's going to be like a week or 2 away from it. With a couple more starts, he'll be all right.
Let's talk about that. Because it involves a trade, like the trade with Caleb Durbin and I think I sent you something. Like the Red Sox at the moment kind of got fleeced in that deal.
Well, so
what a deal for the Brewers.
Dating it back to what the Brewers have done. Okay, so the Brewers make the trade with the Yankees for Devin Williams. Devin Williams goes. In return, they get Caleb Durbin and they get Nestor Cortez, right?
Yep.
Nestor Cortez then gets traded for Brandon Lockridge, who now obviously banged up, not going to be back for about a month or so here, but had a great start to the year. And they turned Caleb Durbin into Kyle Harrison, David Hamilton, and the throw-in Shane Drowan, right? Yeah. I mean, maybe David Hamilton was, but it didn't work out. It's nicer rhyming. But you cannot tell me that Matt Arnold isn't the best general manager in the sport right now. He's won the executive of the year the last 2 years. And if Kyle Harrison ends up being, he could be right, what Kyle Harrison is doing is unreal. He can get more grace and be worse if he wanted to a little bit right now here, because he is currently, there's an argument at least that he is the best pitcher on this staff right now.
I mean, all around potentially, right? As a lefty as well. And what he's able to do. He has great velocity, but he also has, I think he has a few more pitches than Misiorowski, has. And he just, man, what did he have? 11 strikeouts?
Yeah.
In his start? I mean, like I would hate facing like this starting pitching rotation against the Brewers. You're just, that you're going to get great stuff all the time. And yeah, I look at Kyle Harrison and you have to just right away, he can not be as good down the stretch here. And like, what is he going to turn into? We have a lot of questions still, but like I saw something about his pitching, his four-seam fastball. And you got to give credit to the pitching staff there at the Brewers organization for what they do with these young pitchers and these guys that come into this thing. And that's well known. We all know these things, but there's tangible like craft that they teach these guys when they come in. And they showed Kyle Harrison's four-seam fastball. I don't know if you saw that image. I don't know if I sent it to you, but his four-seam fastball 2024 when he was pitching at the Red Sox, that thing is like flat out to the outside. Like he was real wide. And now he's like kind of a little more over the top, getting like straight down the line and just serving it up. I mean, that alone. And then David Hamilton goes and does the craziest thing this week, right? Against the Cubs. I mean, when I saw that, I'm out there golfing and I'm kind of in a break and I look at my phone and I see Hamilton hit in the park home run. And I'm just like, what is going on right now? And do you feel better? Like, is it Hamilton's obviously extremely fast, but what is going on with Crow Armstrong?
Well, this call, I have almost the back half memorized.
And a line drive back up the middle. That'll work. Frelick sent around third. The ball gets away from Armstrong. That'll score Ortiz. Hamilton's on the move. Hamilton's being waved. Still being waved. Here's the throw. Save! Oh, man, dude.
So
Levering was all over it on that. And I'll play it until the Brewers play another game because it was against PCA. I really don't care by any means.
Like, what is going on with him? I mean, I give him credit. He kind of was just like, I was awful. I'm horrible. Like, that was so bad. I mean, a routine fly ball and then just a hard hit, but it was like just a grounder kind of popping up and he just does not judge it right. I mean, that guy is one of the best and he's just floundering out
Pete
there.
Crow Armstrong just signed a contract with the Chicago Cubs over the offseason. For 6 years, $115 million. That begins in 2027. Pete, it costs $0 to be nice. It does cost $0 to be nice. And I can't help but think there's a little karma that just went his way after the weekend that we saw out of him.
Came back and got him.
And the Brewers made him pay during it. And on top of it, like him batting against Jacob Mizorowski, Miz should be charged with a crime for what he did to him. And then Kyle Harrison, the lefty going up against PCA. There are officially people in Chicago fed up with Craig Counsell. Like it is already starting. There is already like this guy is too vanilla. He doesn't provide $8 million worth of manager type money. And they think he's fine, but he's overpaid now at this point. There already is narrative going on with Craig Counsell being an overpaid manager.
I mean, that's always going to be the rhetoric, especially if you go to Chicago. Like, and that's why, the Brewers, it was like, they're never going to go there because then there's always going to become that conversation. If you aren't having, the Cubs are still going to be a good team, but I get that. It's like, okay, if you're not setting your lineup and you're not like moving guys in and out just to like go against certain pitchers and do these things, like, I think the Cubs fan base is probably going to get a little fed up with that. And you're like, you make $8 million a year, you got to work a little harder. You got to show us that you're doing something a little bit more. I think Pat Murphy does that all the time, right? Like he's going to set his team up to have the best opportunity to go and win a game against whoever they're playing against. It's not going to just be like, these are our guys, we're going out there and playing. We're going to set this thing up so our guys feel confident they can go and have success. And that's what great managers, that's what great coaches do in all sports. And man, I saw something too, like this Brewers team. I don't know if we can like call them like the, kind of the low salary, like kind of like try hard, do it the right way and like hope for the best type of organization anymore. Like they are they have a proven record and a proven system of success now. Like if I'm other teams, I'd be looking at what they're doing. It's like, you can't go and buy everything like the Dodgers. Now let's look at the Brewers and see what they're doing. Let's figure out like that recipe and like let's implement that all across the Major League Baseball.
It is the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz in for Thunder today with the Packers' all-time leading scorer. Talking some Brewers baseball. Phenomenal to put a bow on that Chicago series. And now they go up against the Los Angeles Dodgers, the big bad evil empire today. They miss out. No Ohtani pitching during this series, but they will have Robleski, the lefty, on the mound for LA today, Roki Sasaki, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto over the weekend, as the Brewers will send out Logan Henderson today, which I'm trying.
How are you feeling about it? Yeah,
I
was going to ask you about
really close to getting really excited about Logan Henderson. Okay. I think too. Like,
so you're jumping on Thunder Nellis. Mitch Thunder Nellis loves him some Logan Henderson. So.
I am. So today there is going to be some talk, and I don't know if there has been yet. I got in a little bit later, but there is going to be some talk today of a Tarek Skubal-esque trade coming to the Milwaukee Brewers. I can guarantee it. It's not going to be. It's not from anything that is so like. There's no MLB reports coming out about it, but there's a lot of Brewers Twitter talking about it. I know Sparky's going to bring up something like that later on today in Wisconsin Sports Daily. And Charlie was here a little earlier today. We were talking about, throwing a Henderson in that deal. And obviously I think Tarek Skubal is a better pitcher than Logan Henderson, but you also would be getting Tarek Skubal for a half season rental. And then he's going to go get his bag somewhere else. If it guaranteed a World Series, sure, I would do it. But I also am really excited to see Logan Henderson develop as a pitcher for this Brewers team, because he's got the stuff now. He has another pitch. He's throwing the cutter a whole lot more this year. He's looked great his last few outings. He's a strikeout guy on top of it, not just an out getter. And Logan Henderson, he's kind of the premium in this series for the Brewers, right? You just went with Miz and Harrison, so they're going to miss the Dodgers completely. And it's Henderson, Gasser, and Sproat for these three. So I am excited to watch Logan Henderson today, and specifically feels like a must win if you want to take the series.
Yeah, I think, I guess, Sproat's been good. Gasser's a little concerning. So I think you have to win this game today with Logan Henderson on the bump. What do you think about that? I mean, what's Logan Henderson's contract situation? I mean, he'll be here forever.
Yeah,
right? For a long time. So
he's got 5 or 6 years of control.
That's such a great question. Would you do a half season lease with a Skubal, and does that give you a better chance to win a World Series, or does long-term Logan Henderson, who's developing into a really good pitcher, keep you really good for a longer period of time? Like, gosh, that's a tricky one.
Look, I would do it. You'd
go do it.
Got to go for it.
What if Logan Henderson ends up being
that's the price you got to pay. Being a Brewers
so you're willing
fan.
to pay that price.
It's the price you got to pay to be a Brewers fan. If you want, there is.
What if they feel really good? So clearly, like the Caleb Durbin, it was like good player. We like him. We've kind of developed it. Like, but we're okay sending him off. What if they feel like Logan Henderson might be that next guy, and they're just like, because I do think there's some of that, right? Like they're willing to move on from somebody if it's like the right type of player to bring guys in. But I do think maybe they stick with somebody if they're like, I think this guy can really be good for us for a long period of time. What's your take on that?
He is good. Tarek Skubal's great. Okay, Tarek Skubal is elite. Tarek Skubal is arguably the best pitcher in Major League Baseball. I mean, he's up there with anyone else. You can compare back-to-back Cy Young winner. I don't think it has many legs, but there is.
So you're not sure.
But there is no excuse why the Brewers couldn't go out and acquire anyone they wanted to with the farm system they have right now. They're not going to let Madej move. All right, that's the number one prospect in all of baseball.
Yeah, so ridiculous.
But Pena would definitely be the starting point as the number 2 prospect in the system. And then I think they're going to want a close to big league arm. And I don't know if you can convince them Coleman Crow is quite ready, I definitely think you could convince them that Logan Henderson is a guy that will be able to pitch at the major league level for a long time.
Yeah.
From the 414, someone says, how many pitches does Harrison have? Because Miz has 4. Harrison did do that all against the Cubs with 2 pitches, like literally threw a fastball and a slurve the entire time.
Nothing, yeah.
And I think he threw 3 changeups.
Is his command better, or like what's your why in your mind do you think he might be the best pitcher on this roster?
I just said there's an argument. The stuff goes to Miz. All right, no one can you can't replicate 103.
Saying, like Miz is like the guy, but like does Kyle Harrison just have something that is is unique in his own right, that he kind of maybe has command in different ways? Like Miz is crazy because he'll throw that 4-seam ball that rises up and they're swinging out of their shoes trying to catch it, and then he'll throw that little slider, that sinker that just makes him fall down trying to catch up to it.
He pounds the zone. He's not afraid to pound the zone, and he can touch 98. I mean, he hit 98 against Chicago over this last 3 games. He can touch it, and he just isn't going to walk a lot of guys, I think. And that's why Miz has been so great this year too,
his
is because
percentage went way down.
I saw
that. It went from like 13 something to 8. I think he's like at 8% right now. Is that right?
Yeah, he's pretty low. I'm looking here, Tommy and Stallis. So between us Tommies, I got a quick question for you. Do you all your cut ups, sound bites, and highlights for your pregame show on your own? I do. Yeah, I do, Tommy. Nice. I do that all on my own for that the entire time. Kyle Harrison's stuff is not better than necessarily Jacob Mizrowski's stuff. I get that.
Oh, for sure.
But
yeah.
You
I don't think that's an argument.
You can see it on the mound, just how he holds himself. And I think it is because while he is young and under team control for quite some time, he does have like a full big league season under his belt. He is not someone who is trying to figure it out on the fly. He did go 25 games with the San Francisco Giants a couple of years ago. He obviously has been traded twice now at the big league level. He looks like a professional. That's just the best way to do it.
He was a top prospect, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was like one of the top pitching prospects in Major League Baseball. I love this from Greg I think it's on Facebook, is can we eliminate the made up word slurve from English? It sounds as nauseating as bruh to me. Slurve is a funny one. I'm like,
I think when Harrison talks about it,
curve, let's go.
Yeah, I think when Harrison talks about it, he calls it a slider the whole time. But
it's slurvy.
It's got a little curve action to it, so that's why it's on Statcast. They'll call it a slurve. So that's what I'm going to call it for the time.
Slurvy.
Over the weekend, the Brewers have the Dodgers. Crosby, what are you looking for the Brewers Dodgers over the weekend?
And obviously they overachieved during the regular season last year against the Dodgers.
Yeah, undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they win this series, I think this is that point where we talk about the Brewers finally getting some true national recognition, right? Like they have to be like recognized nationally. They're starting to get. Miz is obviously super popular. Bryce Durang, I think the Brewers are trying to pump him out. Like I saw something, best second baseman in baseball. Like, yeah, we said it, I think is what like their little line was there. So they're trying to pump out some of these players and get their recognition. But you go against the Dodgers and you win this series, somehow find a way to sweep this series, and they're going to be on that national, they're going to be on the national radar really heavy after this, and which deservedly so. Like this team has a chance to be really special with the pitching, and it seems like their bats are just getting better and better every game. So I think that's going to be probably the biggest thing, right? Is like Dodgers pitching is always going to be good. They're going to come in here and they're going to do some good things. And I'm looking who they got tonight. Is that Robleski?
Yeah.
Robleski, 6-1, 2.49 ERA. I mean,
from a guy you've never heard of.
That's no joke.
Yeah.
Like, this
from a
is
guy
like,
you've never heard
this is
of
like their
until
fifth,
this year.
The 5th starting pitcher. Like this is kind of like the 5th guy in the rotation. So I think tonight's a really important game. Like you got to win this first one against a team like the Dodgers, and then you just try to hang around and give them fits, in game 2. see if you can't find a win. And then all of a sudden, that game 3 becomes a little less stressful, but I have no doubt they could take 2 out of 3 against this Dodgers team. I think this Brewers team is just really coming up right now.
That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful if they could. It is the Mason Crosby Show. I want to talk a little bit of Packers as ESPN has their kind of NFC North preview, offseason review going on. Rob Domofsky was representing the Packers on this, and Malik Willis's name still gets mentioned before Jordan Love's name.
Jordan Love.
In this article, it still does. He's not even on the team anymore. And Jordan Love, I just feel like to this point, we're not hyper-focused enough on the quarterback in Green Bay. And I think a lot of teams do hyper-focus on the quarterback. And I want to know what you guys think. We'll take some calls. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line on some Packers conversation coming up next right here on the Mason Crosby Show, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz, Packers all-time leading scorer, here with you going till 2 o'clock. Sorry, it was high noon. I didn't say that.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Yeah, we got to get there. We'll get back on Mountain Time when we do that.
Yeah,
Andrew Bandstra of Channel 3000, sports director over in Madison, will join us at 1 o'clock. We'll do a Wisconsin sports gauntlet going around. We'll talk some Brewers, Packers, a lot of college conversation.
We have to talk Badgers. Do we have we have to?
We're gonna get there. We might have one question saved. We should just talk about them bringing back guys who only played 3 years in college and see if they'll come back and play.
Can't Decker come back?
Right.
He's like playing over in
Marshawn Lloyd. Did he play enough? Is he played enough in the NFL in order to not be eligible for college? That conversation coming up at 1:20, not about Marshawn Lloyd, but about LSU and what they're doing to build a basketball roster. But the Green Bay Packers, we have the Packers all-time leading scorer on the radio every day from 12 to 2. And ESPN had put out this article today talking about the NFC North quarterback buzz plus underrated and surprising roster moves, and got contributors from, I believe, all of the ESPN writers for the NFC North, the Lions, Vikings, Bears, Packers, obviously, because Rob Domofsky was the contributor for the Packers. And I just got really frustrated reading this article because for the first lines here, the most surprising move of the offseason, okay? The biggest surprise for the Green Bay Packers in the offseason. I would love to know what you guys thought. 414-677-1250. What was the most surprising move of the offseason for the Green Bay Packers? Go in any direction you want with that, whether it's someone they brought in, someone they let go. You will not guess what they wrote in the ESPN article. You will not guess it. Because what they wrote, the departure of special teams coordinator Rich Bisaccia,
you like that one,
caught many in the Packers organization by surprise. So maybe by default, that becomes a surprising move in the organization, especially, he waited a month or whatever it was to be back, to go back out, and he left and then took the Clemson job, and all the great special teams candidates, so we think, were all taken and not available anymore. And the Packers then up going and get Cam Accord. Crosby, when you say the most surprising move of the offseason, did Rich Bisaccia pop in your head at all?
Honestly, though, when I read it, I was like, okay, I will say that makes a little sense. Surprising. And then it kind of twofold. You give like McManus $1 million, keep him on the team, and then you draft a kicker. So I would actually say probably the most surprising stuff is in some of that special team space where they've been searching for years on how to play better special teams, how to do this the right way. I do think Bisaccia was loved by the players, was a great coach and leader in that coaching space there. So I think I will say I joked on that is I think some people were scared of him a little bit, where it's like he's going to go to war if you go at him and you're not prepared for it. So, but yeah, I do think that was surprising. I think what would you say? I'm interested to hear what you think is the most surprising or the biggest thing, if you don't think that was the most, because there weren't, they let Nate Hobbs go, which I thought was a good move, but a bold move at the same time, right? Like, you paid the man and you're just like, all right, well, we made a mistake there, we're going to let you go.
Mine is twofold then too, because I would, if I have to pick the move specifically, it would be Zaire Franklin to make that trade. But I really want to include letting Quay Walker walk after as well. He gets his bag with the Vegas Raiders, and I wish him nothing but the best over there. And we know what Quay Walker was when he got to Green Bay, the head case, the bonehead plays, the losing of his temper a couple of times. And we really saw him completely change and mature. That's a great word for it. He did mature, and he became a solid piece for that Packers linebacker room that I never think the Packers thought, nor do I think he would ever be above Edgerrin Cooper in that room, but was a very good complementary piece, and the athleticism and the speed of those two guys in the middle of your defense was really unmatched in the NFL.
Yeah, my concern with Quay Walker being gone is only kind of for those first 4 games potentially without Micah Parsons, right?
Yeah.
Guy like Quay Walker, so versatile what he could do with his athleticism, his speed, his size. The fact that they didn't give him his 5th-year option and just have that ability to keep him one more season. I think they just were like, okay, we're not willing to give him a long-term deal. We could, it would be nice to have him while Micah Parsons is out for a few games, but we're just not willing to go that deep, deep down the rabbit hole with him. Obviously part of that article was Malik Willis going to the Dolphins. And I know you want to go there. But
yes.
So do you not want to go there yet? Do you want?
No, I want to go there now.
Okay.
I want to go there right now because it was a fill in the blank question.
I know you wanted to talk Malik Willis. I was trying to skirt around it because we knew Malik Willis was leaving.
We knew this.
Yeah, but you're saying they talk about Malik Willis in this article and not about like Jordan Love and how they've helped him and how he's going to lead this team. Right?
All 4 teams were given the prompt of the offseason moves have blanked the quarterback position. Okay, fill in the blank with whatever you want. What did the 3 teams other than the Green Bay Packers have for their representative to fill in that blank? Well, for the Minnesota Vikings, the offseason moves have elevated the QB position.
Yeah.
All right. For the Bears, it was the offseason moves have benefited the QB position. For the Lions, it was the offseason moves have helped the quarterback position. All positive traits towards the quarterback position specifically with every team except what did the Green Bay Packers write? What did they get in? The offseason moves have changed the quarterback position, which again, Malik Willis's name is mentioned first in this article before Jordan Love's at some point. And I know what Malik Willis did as a backup was unreal and really cannot be created again. I would argue that point.
I do think though, like Goody went out like in this same article. Goody says Jordan Love missed some time. He's missed some time the last few seasons, and we need a backup. Malik Willis was that guy, and he was unbelievable and stepped in and played at a high level to help this team win. We will address that, and I believe they have. I feel like Tyrod Taylor was an awesome signing and kind of a unique signing for the Green Bay Packers, saying like, okay, we saw what Malik Willis could do in his role when he stepped in to help this team have success when Jordan Love was out. I think Tyrod Taylor is like the older veteran version of that, right? Like he's the guy that he's going to come in. He's going to be a really solid teammate and guy in the locker room. So who knows? Like Malik Willis was unreal. It's hard to say you maybe upgraded, but I think as far as bringing in a veteran guy that's been in a lot of buildings and being able to come into that space, he's going to even give a different perspective and has a lot of this. He has a lot of the same qualities that Malik Willis. He's just done it for a lot longer.
While it was expected that the Packers would lose Malik Willis after his successful 2-year run as Jordan Love's backup, that doesn't make it any easier to handle. Willis played so well in his relief appearances and fill-in starts that the Dolphins gave him a $22.5 million a year contract to be a starter. These aren't the days of Brett Favre when the quarterback would never miss a game, and the Packers know it.
Oh, so you feel like that's like even a shot. Like it's like, well, Jordan Love's going to be out. He's going to be hurt. Yeah.
Quote, it's a really important thing for us, Brian Gutekunst said recently on the QB2. Jordan the last 2 years has missed some time, and we've needed someone to come in there and play at a high level to help win those games. So whoever's called upon, we're going to expect that. And when you lose a guy like Malik, it is something you're going to have to replace, and we're trying to do that. And then it goes into Tyrod Taylor's. You know what I want? Yeah. I want them to say Jordan Love needs to play more games. Jordan Love needs to be healthier. Jordan Love needs to take care of himself better. Stop talking about Malik Willis. Stop. Just stop talking. He is gone. He played 5, 6 amazing good games. Great. So happy. He is not a part of the future, and it is not an impact to lose a guy like Malik Willis anymore. It is not.
Wow, it is such an interesting thing, right? Where like now, as you've painted this picture, it's like, okay, yeah, Minnesota Vikings, Lions, Bears, all talked about from a perspective of who their quarterback is and how do you optimize that guy.
Yes.
And this article from Rob is like, well, we lost Malik Willis, so we got to find somebody when Jordan Love's not available.
Right.
Like it's like that. That's the Packers situation. I do think they helped Jordan Love by on the defensive side of the ball, like getting guys, like getting a defensive tackle, doing obviously Micah Parsons when he's back. I think Zaire Franklin is going to be a good veteran piece in that defense. I think getting better corners and getting more corners to compete, because Jordan Love played exceptional in that playoff game and that defense let him down, right? Like if we want to look at it, go back to some of the Aaron Rodgers times, right? Yes, they talked, it was Aaron Rodgers' team, but I do feel like in Green Bay, they don't ever want to give that team to the quarterback.
Yeah, but they never were saying like how valuable Matt Flynn was as a backup. It was the one game he came in and played. Great job. And it was, Brett Hundley stinks, but at least he beat the Bears. Deshaun Kaiser, whatever happened with him. The focus was always Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, is the plan. And whether or not you like Jordan Love or not, that is not what this is about. As someone who has publicly been out there in support of Jordan Love being an elite candidate and the guy for the Green Bay Packers at the quarterback position, which I know some fans haven't bought into, I can at least respect the fans who are saying what Jordan Love needs to be better at, as opposed to losing Malik Willis and how impactful that is for the quarterback position. Because really, it's not. It is not. He was never going to be the starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. And if you want to be critical of Jordan Love, at least you're critical of Jordan Love. I don't need any more Malik Willis talk. If you think Jordan Love's great, talk about why you think he's great. If you think he stinks, talk about why he stinks. Malik Willis should not be in your mouth. His name should be gone. There is no reason to talk about him and a loss that he was when he was maybe going to play 2 games and they were unplanned appearances whenever he's going to be out there.
Maybe, maybe Rob, maybe some of these people, like they're wondering if Malik Willis should have been the quarterback. Maybe they're questioning, should they have done a trade or moved on like the Cardinals did with Kyler Murray. Now he's playing for the Minnesota Vikings. So maybe there's still some people. I'm going to tell you, love Matt Flynn, but it didn't work out whenever he went and, got his payday after a short time. Only time will tell if Malik Willis, if it pays off for him. And we will see as soon as he is the guy day in, day out. Like that is a different animal. I was actually talking to Randall Cobb this week. He was at the golf event and he was like, when Jordan came in, he made some throws that was like, all right, this guy's got an arm. He does some things. He's like, but whenever he was running the offense, when Aaron was still in charge, it was like, all right, a little bit slow running through thing, all that. Like he was like, I wasn't sure. He's like, but I'm sure now, as soon as he took over and you could kind of see that change in him where it's like, I've learned so much from Aaron. I've learned so much from like my time sitting behind Aaron and being able to not be thrown into that pressure cooker. and he was ready. And now he is developing and becoming a top quarterback in this league. I don't know if Malik Willis is ready. Sometimes, like, great players are like, there are some guys, and I've talked about this before, that can step in and have great moments, but once you are the guy, it takes something special. So, yes, I totally agree. Malik Willis, great, like, good luck in Miami. But now this is Jordan Love's team, and I think
it was last year. It was the year before that.
But why is that not, like, taught? Like, why is it not Jordan Love's team out in, like, in this article from everybody?
Right.
Like, it needs to just say, like, we win and lose with Jordan Love. Like, the defense, do your thing. Jordan Love is going to take this team to where it needs to go. And it's only going to go as far as Jordan Love goes.
Absolutely. Right? And this text coming in, 906. Malik was crazy good as our backup, and I don't think that shows he's better than Tyrod yet. We may be saying Tyrod is a better quarterback than Malik Willis until Malik Willis can prove for a whole year or years like Tyrod Taylor has. This is the point. This is the whole point of the conversation, 906. I thank you for contributing. Thank you for listening. I do not care what Tyrod Taylor does for the Green Bay Packers one single bit. I do not care at all. I don't care
You're
how
tired
he
of talking
performs.
about the backup quarterback.
Yes. I want to talk about Jordan Love. I want articles to be written about why Jordan Love is the guy. I want articles to be written about why Jordan Love is not the guy. I don't care. Take a side on Jordan Love and stop talking about his backup quarterback.
Do you think some of that is the Packer way, and they are trying to keep Jordan Love, like, from being, like, getting into an Aaron Rodgers situation or wherever, where it's like they want to keep him kind of, in the background a little bit? Like, it is funny, right? Like, Jordan Love's the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. He is the highest paid player. He's got, it's his team. But yes, we talk about Malik Willis and, like, the 5 games that he was, like, he came in and was great. Like, in all reality, that's not a lot of game. Like, for even Goody to say, like, Jordan's missed some time, like, that's not a lot of time.
No.
That's not a lot of games.
No.
Like, for a quarterback to have to step in and fill in a supportive role. So to say that, that's an important piece, I totally agree with you. I think Goody should just say, like, we just need Jordan to be, like, healthy, and whoever a backup is, it doesn't matter. They're going to maybe have to, step in like a supportive role occasionally. Jordan Love is the leader of this Green Bay Packers football team. And
this is the last question from the 4-letter network thing. This article is just infuriating if you're a Packer fan to go read. A move that will have the biggest impact next season for all of them, right? So for the Vikings, very obviously, they have Kyler Murray, right? And they write a whole piece on him. For the Bears, they talk about occupying a blocking tight end just because of how much they run the football, right?
More tight ends.
For the Lions, they talk about the new offensive coordinator coming in, all right? All of those valid.
And the revamped offensive line,
and for the Packers, it's the moves they didn't make. Despite another early playoff exit, there was no head coaching change. LaFleur was not only retained, but received an extension. I can't even do this. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
Come on, Rob.
Like, give me an answer. You have to take an opinion on something. You can't say, well, the backup quarterback and how does this affect the quarterback position? Well, who's going to come in when the guy we want to be behind the center can't be? No, that is not helpful at all. And talking about a move that's impactful, it's LaFleur not being fired. Okay, fine, sure.
All right. You want to just talk on the offense, you re-signed Reed.
Yep.
So, like, if I'm Jordan Love, that's for Jordan Love. It's saying, like, he's going to be here. Like, you have your receivers. Christian Watson, we'll see what happens with him, but it's like, all right, you have your receiving core. You got Tucker Kraft. I feel like the offense didn't need a lot of revamping.
No.
It's like they were starting to get it figured out. So you figured out some defensive stuff, and you're gonna get Micah Parsons back maybe week 4 or 5. So the Packers were so close that they didn't need as much as some of these other teams. But like, yeah, like to talk about the coaching thing at this point, like it's like it didn't even like that doesn't even make sense in this article.
More to come. It's the Mason Crosby Show from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. The Mason Crosby Show from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We went long. It's all right.
Yeah, we did. We just threw a slurve out there.
Oh, wow.
We were slurving.
A1 troll game from Mason Crosby right there. We'll have some conversation about the Green Bay Packers with Andrew Bandstra, Channel 3000 over in Madison coming up here. We'll take calls on it if you want. Are you just beyond frustrated with how the Packers get covered in the national media?
Tommy's salty on this Friday before Memorial Day. Come on now.
I don't get an off day for Memorial Day, so I'm coming in hot. This is like a Wednesday for me right now, or a Tuesday. I don't even know. I think my next day off is June 5th.
You got this.
I got it. We'll be good. It's the Mason Crosby Show. Andrew Bandstra coming up next.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
High noon in Provo, Utah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. As it is the Mason Crosby Show, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We're going to get to Andrew Bandstra in just a second, but we did have a caller come in. Randy over in the Falls. What's up, Randy? You want to talk about the backup quarterback situation?
Hi, guys. Hey, I thought there was one quarterback head and shoulders above everybody else, and I heard the Packers were interested in him, but they didn't make the move. They didn't really go after him real hard. And I think this guy could have been really, really good. And, you know, unlike Trey Lance, Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to trade for him, right? They just had to sign Tyrod.
Oh, I thought Anthony. Oh, yeah. It would have been a trade. You're right.
Well, either way, yeah, regardless, thanks for the call, Randy. Yeah, from there, look. We're going to get to from a Randy to an Andy. Andrew Bandstra, channel joining us here on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Andrew, we were talking last segment about this article written on the Four Letter Network about the NFC North and how we got no answers from this article, literally at all, on any predictions. And in the quarterback section of it, they didn't talk about Jordan Love at all. They talked about Malik Willis. And I'm getting pretty fed up with all the Malik Willis talk, Andrew. How we doing, boss?
I am great. Thanks so much for having me on. I always enjoy spending some time with you guys. Played some golf this morning, and things are pretty good. So yeah, I mean, I think that the Packers kind of not necessarily hate, but maybe ignorance kind of is expected at this point. You had a couple of years, and they haven't quite gotten to where people maybe thought or hoped they would have, and people have maybe moved on to the next exciting thing. But I think that's maybe a good thing for the Packers when Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons are all the way back. And I really think that this team could be really, really special this year. There's nothing to tell me that they couldn't make a run deep in the postseason.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think this team, like if you look at them on paper and how they've built this thing up, and now we're year 4 with Jordan Love at the helm, and like a lot of these guys have played significant amount of football for this Packers organization. They know what to expect. They know that the expectation is to go win a Super Bowl. At the very least, you got to win the division and try to dominate that. I in this article, like Rob Domofsky talked about, the biggest thing was they extended Matt LaFleur and all of that. Like, I kind of want to ask you that question. Do you think with how this team is built, the expectations, what this team should be able to accomplish, is Matt LaFleur safe even with that extension if they underachieve this year? Is that like kind of in my mind, I'm like, this is that year I've kind of written down. They need to win in 2026. Like they have to show that they can be a dominant force in the NFL. 2026 is the year. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I also agree that, they did, of course, sign LaFleur to the extension. But if it flames out again this year, it's getting to that point where there's too much talent on this roster to just let this be the status quo, right? I mean, you've got too many guys at the right age that are fantastic at football to allow yourself to just fall into another early postseason exit. So to me, that is one of Matt LaFleur's, downfalls. Clearly, he's a brilliant offensive mind. The question is he a good enough head coach to get the job done? And we're still waiting for that question to be answered. He's showed us at times that the answer is yes. He's also showed us at times that the answer is certainly no. He's had those scenarios as well. So I could see him making the run, but I could also see, Ed Policy showing that he's not going to put up with that and moving on from him if this doesn't pan out this year, especially if it's really not as good as we think it will be.
Well, then I'll ask you, Andrew, is it good news that Jordan Love and news about Jordan Love is quiet all off season? Is it bad news in that way? Because I think there would be something that would show like hey, need a step from Jordan Love, or Jordan Love is going to take this step, or we need more out of Jordan Love. They just don't talk about him at all. They just
You're right.
completely, there's never any news about Jordan Love. And we just read this article off on the air here too, that was all about the backup behind Jordan Love and how big of a loss it is that Jordan Love's guy who doesn't play unless Jordan Love can't play is one of the biggest moves of the offseason for him. And I just think it's an unfair, unjust way to look at the quarterback position in Green Bay.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially for a franchise where the quarterback has been the focus for the last 30 years.
Yes.
We talked a lot about how he learned a lot from Aaron Rodgers. I thought from his very first press conference on, one of the things maybe he learned from Aaron Rodgers was to maybe do the opposite that Rodgers did, in terms of he's not going to, obviously Rodgers wasn't always trying to grab headlines, but towards the end of his career, he knew how to maybe manipulate things to make himself a talking point. And I think that Jordan Love does the opposite of that. He doesn't want the spotlight. The only time you hear from him when he's not on the field is when his wife has him in his TikTok videos, right? I think that he's a guy that doesn't mind not being in the spotlight, but he's also a guy that knows he needs to take this step forward this year. You know, I think 2 years ago, we were all talking about he'd be a top 10, top 5 guy. He showed flashes of it, especially, you know, early on, and he's still a fantastic quarterback. But I think that this year he, just like Matt LaFleur, needs to take that next step. Now, he's not on the hot seat, but I think this is the year he needs to take that next step because he's got the pieces around him. And guys, I think one thing that isn't necessarily being talked enough about either is I kind of like moving some pieces off out of the wide receiver group. There was too many mouths to feed over the last few years. Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, just kind of cleaned it up. And I said that earlier that, you know, they helped Jordan Love by doing that. You kind of, you know, said, hey, these are going to be your primary targets. Like, these are the guys that we've identified, guys that you seem to have comfort with as well. We're going to extend Reed to a fairly team-friendly deal whenever you look at it, like as it plays out. Dobbs, a little unrest. I know that's Jordan Love's guy, but it's like, he was going to go and get paid somewhere else. We just weren't willing to go there. And then to be able to get some value out of a guy like Wicks, I think that is solid. Do you think they're in Green Bay, though? Like, as Green Bay Packers fans, like, I want to ask this question from being in that building for a long time. Like, do you want the Packers to put more pressure, in a sense? Pressure is a weird word, but like just more emphasis on like saying, we expect Jordan Love to do this. Like, Jordan Love is our guy.
Expectations. You want more expectations.
So then there is at least something where it's like, we understand what the Packers expect from Jordan Love. So if he doesn't achieve that, then everyone's like in their own, like they have the right to say like, well, that was an underachievement of a season, right? So I think the Packers, that is like, it's a gift of theirs, I guess. And it's like in the world we live in the media space, that they can still keep things close to the vest is wild. But like, I do think some of that transparency, and from a player side, we're always like, you hear from former players all the time where it's like, we just didn't even like, there's no transparency, in that building. So what do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like you wish they had just gave more out there so that the fans could just say, all right, here's the expectation. If it's not that, we have the right to be upset.
Yeah, I do. I think that's exactly how I feel. And I think also that, that's the way they've been able to operate for so long because, there was no transparency necessary with Aaron or with Brett because those guys were going to perform at the highest of high levels no matter what. And the expectations were obvious. But with Jordan, I think the expectations maybe should be a little bit more transparent because we know as fans, we've seen the flashes. Obviously, they know better than us watching him in practice every day. They know what he should be. So put those expectations on him. And I think that oftentimes it's too much of a lovey-dovey relationship, at least publicly, between he and Love. I'm not saying he being Matt LaFleur. I'm not saying he should come out and bash the guy, but I do think that no matter what he does in a game, Matt LaFleur immediately is saying how great he was and so on and so forth. And obviously you're going to have your quarterbacks back, but something to give us a little bit more expectations, I think, is necessary.
Okay, well, let's do it right now. Let's all just develop expectations for Jordan Love. This can be the barometer for all fans right here. because you need to either, the conversation just needs to be about Jordan Love when it comes to quarterbacks. That's all I want. I don't care if you're all in favor or all against, but if I hear something about Tyrod Taylor one more time, I'm gonna use the dump button on myself. I can't take it anymore.
We're just pausing so Tommy can go off.
So what first of all, the first expectations has to be team success, right? Like, I think that's fair, and that would be playoff appearance, division title. Do we want to put division title on there?
They got to win the division.
You got to win the division. You got to win the division. You got to make the playoffs. You got to win 2 playoff games, right?
Absolutely.
I think you got to be fighting for that first or second seed.
Okay. You got to be a 1 or a 2 seed. You got to win the division, and you got to win playoff games. All right. The first thing there's your barometer right there on team success. Okay. Those are the expectations for Jordan Love. From a personal side of things, is it time to say he needs to be in MVP conversations, or are we going to put numbers on him? 30 and 4,000, something like that?
I think you get like 30, and I think he's got to be under, he's got to be under or right at that 10 interception range. Like, I think those interceptions need to be, in that high, it's like either high single digits or, right there in that, that 10 interception range.
Okay, go ahead, Andrew.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the MVP talk too. I think that he's a guy that could be that, and obviously isn't being talked about it like he should be or is, but he has the talent. Like, we've seen it time and time again. I mean, you're telling me after that back half of his first year starting that we didn't think that 3 or 4 years down the line that we'd be talking about at least being in the MVP conversation? I mean, I think that's what we all thought, right?
Team success, MVP conversations. If he doesn't live up to that, then you can be upset then, sure. Because we need to have some sort of expectations that are listed out so that we stop talking about Jordan Love's backups. I can't do it anymore.
And I think this is the year, right?
This is the year.
If you look at progression for Aaron, this was the year for Aaron, right? Like, it was like, all right, this is kind of that year of development and like where they need to be. Like, I do think they've protected Jordan even more so than Aaron early in his career. Like, I think the Packers, and for me, that says a little bit of something. I'm like, do they fully trust that he can handle like the pressure of being the focal point and the guy and all of those things? Because it does feel like it's how LaFleur talks about him. It's like, Lovey, make sure that he feels good. I'm not going to like say anything that feels like I'm pushing him in a certain direction. And I don't know if that's good, right? Like, he's got to be able to say, like, I'm going to stand out on my own, put all eyes on me. Because once Aaron became Aaron Rodgers and like we won that Super Bowl, like, it didn't matter who the coach, like, it was like Coach McCarthy, like, it was just like, this is Aaron Rodgers' team. Like, it was Aaron Rodgers moving forward.
Andrew Bandstra, Channel 3000, joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show. And then just to keep some Packers, we'll wrap it up with schedule drop. I don't think we've talked to you since then. Packers seems like they got a pretty favorable draw on that. I think it still technically is the 4th hardest schedule in the NFL. But as far as, the first 4 games and then the last 5 games, like that's 9 that seem to go pretty in their favor, Andrew.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, once the month of December hits, the only time they leave the state is to go to Chicago on Christmas Day. The start of the season is incredibly favorable. And I like the fact that they don't have 3 straight home games or 3 straight road games, I should say, at any point. I think that goes a long way too. I like this schedule. Obviously, like you said, it's 4th hardest, but I think it's favorable. In a lot of ways, maybe not as favorable as Wisconsin football schedule this year, but maybe they deserve it after last season. But I don't even know, Tommy, if you want to get down that rabbit hole. But
you brought it up. All right, we're going there now.
We said we would get to it at some point.
Yeah. Now it just opened up. So yeah, how many wins is this Wisconsin Badgers team going to have this year? What's the over under that we're looking at?
It's too high. Whatever number
Tommy's
going
to say what?
Whatever,
Tommy, you think 3.5?
Whatever number he says, it's too high. But I'll let him say a number.
I think it should be at. Now I would take the under on this, but I think it should be at 7.5.
Oh my God!
Again,
that was way higher than I thought you were going to say.
I would hammer the under. Don't get me wrong, but what it should be, their schedule. I mean, last year it was one of the hardest in the country. You look at their schedule, there's 6 wins in there that they should have. Will they get them? Probably not.
Okay, well, where are the 6 wins that you think they should have? Then, because let's look. We'll go down the list here, right?
Yeah.
Notre
Dame's a loss.
That's a big loss, right? That's a big loss. Western Illinois, Eastern Michigan. We're going Dubs.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Penn State.
You never know because of everything, all the changeover. But I think with James Franklin gone, it's a little bit different. I don't know.
Okay, so it's Wisconsin versus Iowa State Iowa State. Would they have beaten Iowa State last year? Absolutely not. No. Okay.
And I think it's a loss. Yeah.
Michigan State.
I think that could be one you win. Yeah. So there's 3.
Okay. All right. Well, finally October, and then we have a Big Ten win. That's big. UCLA in Pasadena.
I think that should be, again, this is one of those ones they could very well lose, but it should be a win.
Okay. USC.
It's a loss.
That's a loss. Iowa owns us now, so we can't say Iowa's a win.
So it's obviously a loss.
Rutgers, Maryland, Purdue, Minnesota is how those last 4 go. What are they going those last 4?
You gotta win those.
And that's where I get the 7.5 number, right? Because the Minnesota is about a half of a win. You'd think it'd be time they win, but those first 3, the Rutgers and Maryland and Purdue, those should be wins. So that's how I get to the 7.5. Now, will they actually do it? I don't know. But optimistically,
that is a soft schedule. If you saw that schedule for the Badgers,
in 2017, you're like, we're going to the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, you're looking at like maybe a one loss season. I mean, that's crazy looking at that schedule right now.
I don't think so they played in Lambeau when it was against LSU, right? That was the last time they played in Lambeau. And I remember that game just being amazing. Like, because Les Miles, I think, was still at LSU at the time. And like everything, the possibilities were endless after that. It was, okay, let's see what happens against LSU. It was, they probably should beat us, but, we got a scrappy bunch. Now, there's no way I'm dropping the money they're about to drop. Like, if I can get a press pass, maybe I'll get a press pass and go to this game. But I'm not going as a fan to go watch Notre Dame just pound them the first game of the year in Lambeau.
Yeah, Notre Dame has a bad taste in their mouth after not getting to the college football playoff. They had a crazy offseason in the portal.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be bad. And think about the other thing, too. Wisconsin is very cognizant of their schedule. They had Pitt scheduled week 2 up until about midway through 2025. And then all of a sudden they flipped things around and changed that to either Western or Eastern, whoever it is. But they're cognizant that this has to be a year. And then, there's so much going on in Wisconsin. The AD situation is in flux. Feels like a time you'd want to figure that out and figure it out fast. But
yeah, how long do they plan to keep that search going? I mean, I feel like you got to get something in place here. Before
the first game of the year,
before the end of June, I feel like. I mean, you got to get it before guys show up back to the building and training camp.
Clearly the wheels of justice turn slow, but you would think priority number 1, especially when not a whole lot's going on for Wisconsin, this is basically after the hockey season ends. So nothing really is going on. It took them 6 weeks to put together a search committee. So it's like, what are you doing? Like, this is the time, that's maybe the most important time in college sports ever to set yourself up for the future. You've kind of wasted away the last 5 years, and now what are you doing, right?
I mean, even Colorado got it done. They literally, Rick George stepped into a new role, and they had a new AD the next week. Like I think Rick George kind of had the plan rolling. It's like, I'm stepping away, and we're going to have a new guy, fill in right away. Like, I'm like, if Colorado can do it, I mean, the Badgers should be able to get it done.
And like on top of it, McIntosh is a guy that was absolutely on the hot seat. Yeah. And they still had no plan for anyone after him. Like, this guy wasn't doing a good job and then left and took a job. And it's like, oh, now we got to find someone else to replace this. He was doing a bad job and they still were like, damn, he's gone. Like, what do we do now? Like, that was the best guy we had for this. That feels like that feels like a much bigger problem too. I hammer the under. If I gave you 5.5, I still might take the under on wins. I cannot.
They're going to a bowl this year.
I don't know if I see 7 by any means. All right, go ahead.
What's your over under for Fickle to keep his job? What does he need to? What threshold?
If they lose one of the first, if they're 1-2, he's fired, right?
Sure.
If they're 1-2. You can lose to Notre Dame. You can't lose to Western Illinois or Eastern Michigan.
If you lose to one of those teams, I think you're done.
If you're 1-2, it's done. Just pack your bags at that point. Head back to Cincinnati or whatever you got to do from there, or find a casino with Sorsby. I don't really know where he needs to go, but regardless, let's end with some good news. The Brewers are just unreal. Andrew Bandstra, the Miz, Kyle Harrison, and even. I'm really excited to see Logan Henderson today. Like, give him that test of the Dodgers lineup, and the weekend should be fun. It's scary. It's intimidating for sure because it's the big, bad, evil empire of the Dodgers, but they just punked the Cubs over the last 3 days.
Absolutely punked them. And you said it. I mean, the Miz is truly, you're going against Paul Skeens and you're going against Christopher Sanchez and some of the best arms in baseball, but he's got to be in the Cy Young conversation. I mean, he is absolutely unbelievable, guys. It's almost like it's not quite like this, but when you watch Wemby play basketball and you're like, he's doing stuff I've just never seen before. Yep. It's kind of like the Miz. I mean, it's crazy. And I mean, I think that this is a situation where maybe you go out, you have the #1 farm system in baseball, you trade for a Tarek Skubal or somebody to kind of bolster.
I said that was going to come up at some point today.
What do you
think? We talked about
it?
the first segment. Yeah, we were talking about
fair enough.
I just said I knew it was going to come up on the network today because I know Sparky wants to bring it up, and you just brought it up.
Well, I saw that Mizorowski. Like, did I see this right? He has like the 80 fastest pitches in the MLB. Like, it's
for a starter.
It's just like his face. It's just like it's all Mizorowski.
With going to get a move like Skubal, though, I know you get a veteran in that rotation, and that's a big deal, but. By no means am I thinking, we got to get this starting pitching better. And even if someone gets hurt, there's another guy in the chamber. I would much rather never see Luis Rengifo play another game for the Brewers.
You're totally right.
As opposed to let's add in a guy that now pushes Coleman Crow even farther down the list.
You're right. I mean, and the thing is that I would trust the Brewers to take somebody from UW-Platteville, put them in their rotation, and they'd be a stud by the end of the year. They're so good at that. You're totally right. The fielding and the hitting is horrendous in parts of the lineup. The Renjifos of the world, even the Garrett Mitchell experiment continues to not make a lot of sense. And it makes you wonder why you traded Isaac Collins. Not that you ever really question a whole lot of the Brewers trades, but that one doesn't look good with Angel Zerp out for the year. But nonetheless, it's so fun to watch. They figure ways to win out every single night. I don't know how you really make a run with Joey Ortiz in your lineup when there's teams like the Dodgers that have no holes. But
hey, his OPS is up to 600 over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But to your point, I don't see them going out to make a trade like that ever because they don't want to pay their own guys. What if they were going to make a big move? Lock up Bryce Terang, because to me, it's not being talked about enough that he is easily the best second baseman in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Not just from a defensive standpoint. We're talking a Chase Utley kind of guy, but probably even better than that.
Don't say it too loud. No, let's like downgrade him a little bit so that maybe he won't think he deserves as much as he does.
Sure.
And then the Brewers can actually pay him, right? Oh gosh, I know. He's so good. I mean, he's just so ridiculous.
He's so good. He is. The thing I always say about him, and I have been since last year, is like if you are trying to get your child into watching and playing baseball, like any baseball player, like watch Bryce Terang play baseball. He just does it the right way.
So smooth.
He's got pop. He's got the contact ability. He's fast. He's a wizard in the field. Like every true 5 tool. That is the guy you should be watching. Or Bobby Witt or something like that. But
Andrew,
if you're in Milwaukee,
did you know that that Tommy, basically called Bryce Terang before, he he kind of went off last year. He was a Jake Bauers guy before Jake Bauers, started this season. So, I mean, Tommy is kind of like the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network wizard.
Bruce Stradamus.
Bruce Stradamus.
Yeah.
I was thinking wizard, but you called it. Yeah, Bruce Stradamus.
Self-appointed Bruce Stradamus here. Jake Bauers he's my guy. He was my guy last year. He's got over 1,000 OPS in the postseason, in case you didn't know that about him. And now he just can't get out. He's been on base 21 straight games, got a career high 11-game hit streak. What are your expectations last thing over the weekend against the Dodgers, Andrew?
Yeah, I think, you're looking at a team that they played very well in the regular season last year, and obviously it flipped, but I think that it still goes a long ways to compete and beat teams like this. And I think Pat Murphy is going to do everything he can to ensure that happens. The only other thing that I feel like I have to get off my chest is, as much as I love Christian Yelich, and ideally he stays healthy the rest of the year, but you at least have to go get another bat in case he's not, because the injuries are starting to creep back up, and you don't want to go into the postseason without another piece in that lineup. I think Yelich is awesome. I think he's awesome in every way, but you have to at least have that kind of security blanket, even if it's not a huge bat, somebody that you trust that's not Joey Ortiz or Luis Rengifo.
Thank you, Andrew Bandstra, for jumping on. Yeah, Luis Rengifo. I'm not even going to say his name.
Don't say his name.
I'm going to stop saying his name. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just call him Jet Williams until Jet Williams comes up at some point.
Jesus Mate.
What do you got working on? What are you working on there, Andrew? What do you where can the people find you?
Yeah, absolutely. They can find me at Channel 3000 in Madison, on Twitter at Andrew Bandstra. We've got exciting stuff. There's a new women's professional soccer team in Madison now. Madison Mallards start Monday. How about this?
I'm on the board. I'm on the community.
Yeah, Crosby's
that's what I heard.
Yeah,
so that's what I heard.
Yeah, big Rally FC supporter. Let's go.
You can't beat that. The only other thing I got to shout out, how about this? Madison College, or Madison Area Technical College, as it used to be called, they're headed to their 8th straight Junior College World Series. It's a record, and they just broke their own record. So shout out to the Wolfpack. I want them to get it done this weekend.
Heck yeah. I love that.
Well,
appreciate you, Andrew, man.
Thanks for popping on. We'll do it again sometime.
You always keep us so positive.
Yeah, so positive.
I try.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
There he is, Andrew Bandstra, Channel 3000 in Madison on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. On the other side, let's talk about ethics. We haven't talked about ethics in a while. It's been a while. It's the Mason Crosby Show from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back to the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz here with you. No Mitch Thunder Nellis today. He'll be back on Monday with the morning show. So Memorial Day programming, by the way. We will have a show with Charlie and Mitch from 6A to 9A.
Nice.
It'll be Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh with Charlie and Thunder. Chunder? Are we going to call him Chunder together?
Chunder from down under. Let's go.
And then we will have Brewers pregame leadoff show. We'll have the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. Tim Allen, myself. As I'm just saying, not that I'm upset about it. Pretty sure I got Memorial Day off last year on Brewers programming. Just saying.
Just put that out there live, and we'll see what happens.
We'll be watching the Brewers game anyway, so I have no problem doing it. It's all good, and I don't have to worry about seeing Mason Crosby's face on Memorial Day, so it'll be all easy from that moment. That makes it
easier for you.
It's every day's an off day when Crosby's gone. It just makes it that much easier. You got any Memorial Day plans over the weekend?
Well, it's raining here like crazy, so we'll see if that kind of clears up. Boat club's coming back into action, so do have a boat reserve for tomorrow morning if the weather holds off. So we might go try to pull the kids around on a tube tomorrow morning for a little bit.
Do you? Okay, this might be dumb now.
What's
do you
up?
Put a pontoon boat for a tubing boat? Different?
No, I have like you can. So I rented a Mastercraft. So
okay.
Yeah, they have like wakeboard boats and stuff too.
Wakeboard boats, got it.
Yeah,
Mastercraft boat.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
it should be nice. Yeah.
That's like what a boat looks like.
That's what a boat looks like.
Got it.
It's a real boat.
It's a real boat. A real
tubing boat, not a pontoon boat. Yeah.
You guys have like a lake or something nearby you go to, or
Percy Priest, just out here, little east of where we live, and it's about 30 minutes away. So we just cruise up, go in the marina, grab the boat. And we're out there for 4 or 5 hours, and then cruise on back in. And then the weather just dependent. If it's nice again, I might try to grab something up for Memorial Day in the morning just to give us something to do, because I'm feeling it already. One day, this first day of summer, and it's like, what are we going to do with these kids?
Right.
For 2
are they
months?
all out now? They're all done?
Oh, yeah. Yesterday was the last day.
Yesterday was the last day of school. That is ridiculous. I mean,
why?
that is way too early for the last day of school.
Summer in Wisconsin's way longer than it is here in Tennessee. We only go Memorial Day basically till the 1st of August.
Oh, okay. All right.
So y'all get a little bit longer.
Right.
Summer,
and they don't come back.
So you got to enjoy the summer months.
Right. And they don't usually come back until September 1st in Wisconsin. Exactly. That's why you go till June. I feel like I graduated high school like June 10th. Like, I think it was ways into June a little bit too.
It almost feels like it depends on when Memorial Day hits. Like, they're like, all right, Memorial Day, and then it's like 10 days after that.
Yeah.
They call it quits.
Yeah. And college, I think, was already done by now. If it was like, that's usually first or second week of May. Yeah. And then you don't have to go back till September anyway, too. So regardless, they don't want to send kids to school anymore. They'll never send them. Next year, you'll start in October. Yeah. It'll be like when the Titans get their first win. That's when school starts. That's it.
I mean, the kids would love that. Yes, put that in place. Make that a law.
Preseason counts.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Titans are really good in the preseason. Like they go for the win. They go for the win.
Preseason juggernauts. The Tennessee Titans. I wanted to just bring up this story with LSU basketball. We don't have a whole lot of time, but we like to get ethical on Fridays, as Will Wade just took the LSU job over this last year. And Will Wade, if he was at McNeese, right? Yep. NC State, and he's been in college basketball for a long time. And they now have a commitment from RJ Lewis, who was the 2025 Big East Player of the Year for St. John's.
That's crazy.
He then went to the NBA, was drafted, was traded, and now has signed with LSU despite not having eligibility after entering the 2025 draft.
Like, how is that possible? Like, what?
why did Will wait? Are they going to get him eligibility? Is it not going to happen? What's the case? Why is this happening?
How do you do that without that being approved yet? Like how? Like I don't even understand. Like doesn't he have to register for school to play there?
No, not anymore. They don't send kids to school. This is what happens.
But you have to register. Like I feel like you have to go to school, even if it's a formality. Like you have to be registered at the school.
I don't know. I don't know if you do anymore.
You have to take some sort of class,
right? I mean, he's going to take intro to dance, and he's gonna play basketball. Like he's going to school for basketball. He's not going to school.
Wasn't it Carson Beck that was like, yeah, I graduated 2 years ago, or I was like done
right.
with school 2 years ago.
Now it's just like I'm getting my certification for something. This is why I have seriously. It is translating from, hey, we're not going to send these elementary school kids to school ever, all the time. And then they get to college, and now the NCAA has this multi-billion-dollar industry in the athletics department that ultimately provides for a lot of schools and provides for a lot of programs at a lot of schools. And now they're like, well, why don't we just optimize the money-making portion of it and screw the school part?
Yeah. Just carve out all the programs. I've said this a million times. Like that day is coming where the athletic departments of all these schools will be their own financial entity. It stinks though, because I've seen this, right? Like the college registration, like kids going to college enrollment has gone down. I saw all these schools are cutting jobs, cutting programs within their schools. Yeah, which might be, you look at the sources and all that. They could be cutting programs that are just obsolete that they probably should have cut a long time ago, where it's like, all right, nobody's even doing this anymore. Why would we even offer this class? But they're cutting jobs. They're doing all this because the universities are suffering because I don't think kids are they're not enrolling in school at as high of a rate. And the money is all in the football programs. It's all in the athletic department.
They also have, I'm going to butcher all these names. So this is their projected starting five for LSU.
For professional basketball.
Seilu Jiang, who played pro in Italy and was drafted in the 2025 NFL draft. Okay?
NBA draft.
In the NBA, did I say NFL? NBA draft.
I was like, wow, impressive. Crossover.
Bryce Desert. It's two S's, so that's all I'm saying. Yep. Played pro ball in Turkey and has EuroLeague experience.
What is going on?
RJ Lewis, G League player this year and won Big East Player of the Year in 2025. Mauricio Santos, who has played 2 pro seasons in Europe and had played in the 2023 Summer League. And then Yam Madar, who has 6 pro seasons in Europe and was drafted in the 2020 NBA draft.
No way.
Yes. 25 years old. He's 25. Yes. And this lineup that is projected is older than the San Antonio Spurs.
That is
starting
crazy.
5 right now.
So no rules. There's
no rules.
No rules anymore. If you don't play in the NBA, is that like the new rule?
You can go play in Europe. Go play in Europe. Doesn't matter. Go make some money over in Europe.
If you're not from America, then it's it just doesn't even matter. It's just play 10 years in some European professional league, and then you can come over to college.
Giannis can go play for the Badgers. At this point,
that's what we were talking about earlier. I'm like, yeah, Badgers. Hey, you got my. I mean, they can't even get a Supermax deal, so I don't know. They couldn't cover what he's going to make if he stays with the Bucks.
UWM gets Giannis. He doesn't even have to move. Milwaukee just gets Giannis. Does Giannis bring them to the tournament? Definitely, right?
Texas, one of these huge schools, they'd be like, Giannis, don't sign that 5-year $240 deal. We'll give you $300 million right now. Come on and play basketball for University of Texas.
It's a problem. This is a problem.
Jeez.
This is not okay. You can't have 5 professional basketball players
so crazy
being the college lineup for LSU. And
what do you think? What do you think about this? I saw that this year. How do you feel? I keep seeing these things on social media where it's this player, is retiring from the NFL, And then I'm like, oh, okay, like who is this? And like it's somebody that an undrafted free agent signs, goes to like is on the team and goes to like a part of a camp, and then they're like, I'm retiring from the NFL. I'm like, does that count as retiring? Like, do you retire from the NFL like just because you signed a contract? Like, I feel like you got to play a game.
Did you quit?
I think he just quit.
Oh,
he just decided to quit football.
All right,
he just quit football.
Just quit.
Like, you were never in the NFL.
Yeah,
like.
As a retired guy, you take offense to other people.
I
getting
take
the
a little
label
offense somebody
of
saying I
retirement.
retired from the NFL. Like,
what if you retired?
You
from
retired
football?
from football.
Okay,
you retired from football.
All right.
Like, you were never in the NFL.
Resigned. You have resigned from the NFL.
I resigned. I've been terminated.
From the 414, I love how Tommy complains about kids not going to school. Why aren't you just graduating high school this year? I went to school. That's why I graduated from college and from high school. I graduated college. I'm 4 years out of college by now, which is crazy, right? No one believes me when I say that. So I'm 8 years out of high school at this point, but still, I went to school. That's why I graduated. Go to school.
Now you're a professional on the radio. Like, you could go and do amateur radio somewhere else.
Oh, probably. Yeah. I'm going to go back to college radio. I should be getting
college radio.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to do a
They're
commitment.
paying big. They're paying big.
I'm going to do that tweet. I'm going to do that tweet. I'm going to commit to University of Platteville's college radio and see if I have any
program
eligibility in college radio. Mason's Extra Points coming up next on a Memorial Day weekend. We'll do that right after this. The Mason Crosby Show. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis.
Tell me what's on your mind.
On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right. Well, hope everyone had a great week. I kind of was the bookend for my own show this week. Went on a little golfing trip. It was fun. I got to hang out with Randall Cobb for a few days. Got to see his much improved golf game. So yeah, he had his like personal best round on our trip. So threw out like an 89, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, I did. You know, I had some good shots. I did some good things. The best thing we did, and I don't know if anyone's ever been on like a big Ryder Cup style deal like this, but we did a 12v12 alt shot. So
that's crazy.
Each guy on each team got a number, and that was your position in order for your team. And you just went 1 through 12, and you just kind of kept rotating down the line. So I was in that 10 spot, and it actually worked out great. I actually had 3 drives and 1 putt, like were all my shots in 18 rounds of golf. And I smoked my drives.
Yeah.
I was dialed in. Everyone, you know, I loved it because it's like everyone's watching every shot that you have. They did me dirty though. They made me putt like a 2.5 footer, like, and they were in my ear. They, you know, didn't know if I could handle the pressure. Obviously drained it.
I mean, come on.
Navy, we were the Navy team. We got the dub. There was some controversy, which there always is. You know, I never like look back at a win as a negative thing. You know,
winning is never
the trophy.
Winning is never a bad thing.
Never a bad thing.
Tim Allen said that one. I love it. That's one of my favorite.
Well, it is Memorial Day weekend. Hope everybody stays safe, has a good one. Tommy, you just keep working hard and holding this thing down. Thanks for letting me back on the show today.
Absolutely. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer comes up next with Wisconsin Sports Daily. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy the Brewers game, the Brewers coverage over the weekend. It's the Mason Crosby Show.
Later.
I was